This is the Sony 50 to 150mm f2 G Master lens, and in this video I'll share all of the specs and features along with my experience shooting with it over the course of several weeks. Let's get started. The 50 to 150 f2 GM lens is the world's first zoom lens with a constant f2 aperture at a 150mm focal length. It joins another f2 lens in the lineup, the 28 to 70mm f2 GM lens, that has quickly become one of my favorite zoom lenses of all time. Touring the outside of the lens, you'll find a dedicated clickless aperture ring with an iris lock switch, 3 customizable focus hold buttons, along with an AF/MF switch and full-time DMF switch. The front element features nano AR coating too, which helps to reduce flaring and ghosting. And the new lens hood also has a small door that will allow access to whatever filter you might be using. There's also a tripod mount that can be removed when it's not needed. The lens weighs in at 1,340 grams without the tripod mount, and it has a similar length to the 70 to 200 f2.8 GM2 lens while having a slightly larger diameter. It's also weather sealed with a fluorine coating on the front element, and that helps to repel things like water, oil, and other contaminants. Inside, you'll find all of the magic sauce that makes this lens awesome. 19 elements in 17 groups that include 2 XA elements, 2 aspherical elements, 3 ED and 2 super ED elements, all of which help to minimize aberrations. The 11-blade circular aperture helps create the smooth, creamy bokeh that G Master lenses are renowned for. We'll take a look at some examples of that in a few moments. The autofocus in this lens is blazing fast and it's accurate thanks to the 4 extreme dynamic linear motors, which support tracking up to 120 frames per second. This lens was designed for both stills and video use, and those motors offer near silent operation and precision, allowing for clean audio capture and video without having to worry about lens noise interference. It's pretty cool to see that the focusing and the zooming in this lens is completely internal as well, so the lens won't change in size as you zoom from 50mm to 150mm, and the weight of the lens is also balanced so you can use this lens on a gimbal easily. The 50 to 150 GM lens has a minimum focusing distance of 0.4 meters on the wide end and 0.74 meters on the long end, and also has a 0.2x maximum magnification. Focus breathing on this lens is minimized as well, and that's without needing to use in-body breathing compensation, which is also available on cameras that support that feature. With the specs and features out of the way, let's talk about the performance. I paired this lens up with the Sony Alpha 7R5 and the Alpha 1 Mark II for a variety of different shoots, including some indoor and outdoor portrait shoots. At any rate, this lens is truly an elite level lens, giving you the best of the best in nearly every possible category. Check out some of the images that I took with this lens and you'll notice that the bokeh looks awesome and the lens is overall insanely sharp. Shooting with a continuous wide area autofocus mode, I was able to line up my images in camera and rely on the lens to track and keep my subject in focus. Because of the balance of the lens, it was surprisingly easy for me to hold the lens over the course of several hours of shooting. The bottom line for me is that this might just be one of my personal favorite portrait lenses of all time. 50mm is a common focal length for location portrait work, and having the ability to punch into 150mm at f2 and enjoy some of the most unique bokeh and sharpness that I've ever seen is just icing on the cake. This lens is simply the peak of performance and is great for shooting weddings, portraits, indoor sports, and even filmmaking. It's something you'll definitely have to test out when it hits the market towards the end of May 2025. Pricing will be shown in the description of this video, so go check it out. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to Alpha Universe to stay up to date on everything new and exciting. Before you head out, be sure to check out the videos that you see here on the screen, and I'll see you next time.